Please welcome on the one, the only, Dr. Parkinstine.
Hi.
What's up, doctor? You're my favorite doctor. Dr. Parkinstine, you are a genius. You're able to take all of this old, excuse my French, junk, basically. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. You have a refrigerator from the 1910s. Where are you getting this stuff, and how are you making all this stuff work?
So, I mean, the stuff is everywhere. Like, for example, my Model T, they made over 15 million Model Ts before 1927. So they're readily available, and they're actually pretty darn cheap. So you can get them for around $8,000 in good condition. So cheaper than a modern car, obviously. But like old things were built better, and they were built simple with like quality products. So they were built to last.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even think because so much less technology is probably a lot easier to work on. So can you show us your refrigerator, though? I love this video. We don't have to show the video. But this refrigerator is cyanides in it, or what is it? Mustard gas? Explain. What is it?
It has the refrigerant is sulfur dioxide, tear gas.
And that keeps everything cold. How old is that refrigerator?
It is from 1930. It has the original charge from 1930 in it.
Well, you got to be kidding me. It's got the same tear gas from 1930. It hadn't run out yet?
Right. Because, well, it's sealed in there. It's hermetically sealed. So there's the compressor right there. That's why they call it a monitor top.
And that just holds it in, and you're telling me that thing is freezing cold? And then show your stove, too. Your stove's 200 years old, too, right? How old's the stove?
It's from 1917. I actually have this ad for it as well.
And you cook pineapple upside down cake on that. You make it. You're like freaking Gordon Ramsay on that thing.
Yeah, I have bread up here kind of rising right now. I'm about to bake some of that. I just finished baking this.
Okay, so you live in Texas. Oh, that looks great. You live in Texas now. I don't know how familiar you are with sports, but we have a conspiracy that we want to show the picture right now. Do you know this fellow right here? Show the picture if we can on screen. Have you ever, here, show yourself real quick, doctor. Have you ever?
Okay, let me figure out how to flip the camera. Oh my gosh, this thing. Okay.
Have you ever heard of this player, Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I knew that's who you're probably going to say. But the only reason I knew that, I don't watch sports or anything. I don't have time. But the only reason I knew that is because people on my TikTok say I sound like him.
Yeah, you guys sound alike and you look alike. And I think he's from East Texas, or he grew up in Dallas, but I think he lived in East Texas. And do you live in East Texas, or what area of Texas are you in?
I live in Jacksonville. It's kind of like 30 minutes from Tyler, Texas.
Yes. So we need to have you come in studio. So I guess since you're out in Jacksonville, you can probably find a lot of this antique stuff around. Is that why you started collecting?
So, I started collecting when I was like 5. Nobody got me into it. It's my own interest, my own unique interest. It was kind of like, it just made sense to me. I don't know. People could say I'm like a time traveler or whatever. But anyway, like it just made sense of stuff, like how it works and everything. Like, for example, the cars, like the engine on my 1928 Durant, I literally took that out of my car the other day to replace a piston in it that had cracked and put it back in and had that car running again in 7 hours, 7 hours later.
Are you a genius, Dr. Parkinson, or did you ever take Mensa or something? Seriously.
So I don't really like ever stop and think about that kind of stuff. I just kind of just keep going with life. It doesn't matter how smart I am, basically, in my opinion. Like, for example, like you can have IQ and stuff, but it's not like, how do I word this? It's not like, it's what you do with it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because you can be a genius, yeah. If you're not motivated to go out there and change a piston on a 1928 engine, you're not going to be able to figure it out. Well, my favorite show is American Pickers. I used to love that show. Yeah, you ever watch that show? So do you have anything that's worth a lot of money in your collection?
I've got to think. I think the thing that's worth the most is my Durant. I got that for under $16,000.
What's a Durant?
Here, I'll show you. Here, hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't cut off.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Flip the camera. Let's see. Let me flip the camera. That. Hang on. Let me zoom in.
Oh, wow. So that's not a Model T. That's a Durant. That car is badass. And you drive that to Carrollton or whatever? You drive that all around like that?
So I just drive that one around town. Hang on, let me see if I can go over there without
Are you famous?
Because I also have a Model T.
Dr. Parkinson, are you famous? You got to be one of the most famous guys in Jacksonville now with your big TikTok and social media following.
I mean, so everywhere I go, I get recognized. There's my Model T.
And you're doing work on that all yourself. You don't have another mechanic that's doing that.
Right. I'm rebuilding the transmission right now on it.
Yeah, what about that bike? That bike looks awesome.
This is a penny farthing. Yes, it's a penny farthing. I got that at the local antique store here in Jacksonville.
Okay, now I gotta ask you. Now put the camera on you real quick though, Doctor, because now I gotta ask you a tough question. I heard you got I heard you got beef with Elon Musk. I got some beef with Elon Musk, but I heard you got a little heat with him.
So I don't really have beef with him. So my thing is that how Edison was like, he was a good businessman,
but he cooked an elephant, right? Didn't he cook some elephant?
Well, yeah, he cooked an elephant with Tesla's alternating current to prove that it was bad, but it's really, I'll show you a demonstration in a minute with alternating current, but with that machine. But like, he did all this stuff, and also he wasn't original. See, like, people value creative people and their ideas because they think they can make money off of their creativity and stuff. But really, in the long run, this is kind of like a long thing, but I'll just kind of simplify it. In the long run, humanity is more important than money, because without humanity, if you have all the money in the world and nobody to share it with, what's the point, So anyway,
I agree with you. It's like the saying, if you would you want $100 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow, you would say, I don't want the money, I'd rather wake up. So it shows you that living's more important than money.
Right. So like, humanity is more important, because if we can improve humanity, that's the whole goal with everything. To make life easier for people and stuff. But like, money gets in the way with some people, like, because greed and money. Like, for instance, Tesla built Wardenclyffe Tower for world wireless electricity. JP Morgan was funding that, but when Tesla was like, oh, you can't put a meter on it, JP Morgan was like, what? You can't charge for it? So he pulled the funding. Anyway. So
do you believe in free electricity? I do too. All these tall buildings had these things. So do you believe that we can get free electricity from the earth?
I mean, okay, so here's how you would have to do it. So you would need a magnifying transmitter, which is what I have built in Carrollton at my dad's house. When I was 19, I started in 2019. I successfully transmitted electricity 918.6 miles wirelessly.
I saw that.
Technically, it wasn't wirelessly, it was through the earth. The earth becomes the wire, if that makes sense, at a resonant frequency. So with resonance, anything is possible. Because, okay, so here's the explanation I always give people. So everything is made of atoms and molecules. So everything is electricity, because protons, neutrons, electrons. Electricity vibrates, and everything that vibrates has a resonant frequency. For example, an opera singer sings and shatters a glass at its resonant frequency, and it blasts apart the glass. When that frequency is introduced, that's called resonance. Everything has a resonant frequency. The earth has an electrical resonant frequency. So my magnifying transmitter, I basically, okay, so here's another thing. Okay, so with water, the surface of water, imagine tapping it at a certain frequency, so vibrations per second. So you tap the water, and waves come out of the water when you tap it. Mm-hmm. Those waves, think of that like the wavelength. Okay, so with all these waves, with frequencies, there's wavelengths. So to transmit this electricity to Chicago, I built the magnifying transmitter, tuned it to a harmonic of Earth's natural frequency, electrical frequency. So the secondary on it, which is the outer coil, that doesn't connect to the transformer, basically. So that coil was a fourth of the wavelength of 168,000 hertz, or 168,000 vibrations per second. A fourth of the wavelength of that is 1,464.2857 feet. So that's how much wire had to be on the secondary. On the extra coil, it was tuned to 168,000 hertz. And so basically, the bottom of the extra coil was fed by basically like a signal generator, but giant. It was a giant one because it was the fourth wavelength coil in the primary, so it was like a transformer basically, and then feeding directly coupled into the extra coil. And anyway, with that, because they call it alternating current, you only need one wire. So it literally alternates back and forth in the earth and makes everything vibrate in its path.
And that's what Tesla wanted. That's what Tesla created, the alternating current.
Right. So all you need is a receiver coil, just like a radio. It's basically like a wired radio. Instead of the radio being received through the air, though, there's a little coil wound up to the resonant frequency, fourth the wavelength, and tuned to resonate at that frequency. So that's your receiver coil, like that guy in Chicago had. I told him how to wind it. And then with that setup and the magnifying transmitter set up somewhere else, you can make a direct path between the earth and that, and it'll start vibrating back and forth between the two.
So, Dr. Parkinson, wait, real quick. What you're saying is there's a global conspiracy by elites that are hiding free energy from us, basically. Is that, I mean, in a way, is that what you're saying?
That is not free, but it could be free if you make, okay, so you still have to pay for the power you put into the magnifying transmitter. But if I had a hydroelectric power plant with water-powered turbines to generate electricity, I could feed a big, giant magnifying transmitter, and I wouldn't charge for my power. That's how it could be free, because I wouldn't charge. And then everybody's electricity would be free, and you could get electricity anywhere on the planet, and you wouldn't ever have to stop and plug in your phone again, because it would charge everywhere you go. Same with cars, electric cars, and
would that cause cancer or anything, do you think? I mean, do you think that would cause us like that energy around, or is there already energy around us like that kind of?
No, it doesn't cause cancer. In fact, what I would think would cause cancer would be radio waves in the air. But technically, everything is electricity. So, for instance, we have 60 hertz alternating current to our houses and stuff. Well, if you step up that frequency, then the alternating current at 60 hertz now becomes 20,000 hertz. That's now considered RF, or radio frequency. Electricity vibrating anywhere from 20,000 hertz to 300,000 hertz. That's considered RF, or radio frequency. And that's what radio stations use to get.
So there's energy all around us. I'm saying, so we're getting hit with energy waves all the time anyway. Wow.
Yeah, and 5G and Wi-Fi too.
Wow. Okay, Dr. Parkinson, we got to let you go in 1 minute, but I want to ask you, my audience is loving you. They want me to go to Jacksonville and we can drive around. Can I come to Jacksonville and we get some content soon?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. And I have that. If y'all want to see this before I go,
please show us something really cool.
Okay, let me turn off this light. I'm going to take this light right here. It's fluorescent.
Oh, wow, you
I'm just
going to
go ahead.
Oh, look at that. Look at that energy. And it's just lighting. There's no wires or anything. It's just lighting. Wow. So it's just getting energy from the air and it's lighting that bulb.
Anyway. So yeah, I can also light candles with that and stuff.
Dr. Parkinson.
Also I can do X-rays.
Dude, that is the coolest thing ever, dude. You are really one of the coolest guys. I'm not here to kiss your derriere, but this is what I love. You talked about creative. We love creative people. And the fact that, like, what people don't realize, too, is that all this old stuff, everything that's built new this day and age sucks. New houses suck. New cars suck. They have all these sensors. So going back and you actually preserving this stuff, I think you're doing such a service to knowledge, to education, because, like you said, you would think that working on a car from 1928 would be harder, but because it was you know, because it was simpler technology, you were able to figure it out. So you're doing such a great service. Please keep it up.
Okay.
And we're gonna hang out. And okay. Wait, you don't have to kick him out. Yeah. Did we lose him? Okay. Dr. Parkinson, you're a hero. Keep it up. I'm gonna come there. I want you to electrocute me. How much can you electrocute me without me dying?
Well, I mean, so most of my things, I mean, pretty much all my things won't kill you if you get shocked by them. So,
okay.
A lot.
My audience would love for you to shock me. They love when I get shocked, when I get hurt. So if you're willing to shock me, I'm willing to come to Jacksonville. And is there anything you want to promote before we let you go?
I think I've showed everything, and yeah, that's it.
All right, guys, everybody go check out. We're going to put links to the TikTok and Instagram. Dr. Parkinson, you're one of a kind. Keep up the good work. I'm going to see you in person soon. I want you to come to the studio, but I want to go to you. I want to drive around in that Model T and go holler at some ladies in Jacksonville. If my girlfriend's watching, I mean, that metaphorically, I'm just going to be yelling mean stuff to them. I'm not going to be hitting on them. Dr. Parkinson, stay cool.
We also have a soda fountain.
Let's go to the soda fountain. Are you kidding? I love root beer floats. Let's get some old sarsaparilla and some freaking vanilla ice cream, and we're going to go crazy. My treat. Pimp on a Blimp's treat. All right, Doc. You're like the doctor from Back to the Future, but you're African-American, which I respect even more. You're the modern-day Doc Brown. You're the man. All right, Doc. Talk to you soon. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself